Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And we can finally close out the normal battles for this Jubilee Blitz. This stage can go either way. It's either very free and easy, or good luck. It's probably not as bad as normal too, because the free and easy team is just Exalted Champions. Milim, sure, her whole job is to do damage, and she can do damage on that team, and she's got type advantage, so it very much works out for her. Other wind characters were kind of lacking. We just got the Lumi, who I don't use in this video, but certainly if you have the new Lumi and Veldora, she can hit the damage cap easily, but that's assuming you have them, and I didn't show them off, so just know that if you happen to have the Lumi and Veldora and some other decent supports, you can probably hit the damage cap on this stage. But other than that, wind is kind of in a weird spot. So try your best. Disclaimer number one: do what you can. Your results may vary. Build what you can versus what I'm building, because you might not have access to it. Just try your best. Disclaimer number two: these are the characters used for protection gauge. These are the characters used for skill points. Disclaimer number three is don't forget to go into your town, optimize your wind building. And then if we look at the stage itself, it's got a not super friendly hand. 2 oranges and 4 greens. Like, yeah, you can get around that, but do you want to? Do you want to convert that? Or do you just want to bring Diablo? The simple answer is just bring Diablo. But it is just one enemy, it's just one mushroom. He's fairly tanky, physical resistance, pierce and pierce rate, and 257,000 HP. So you're going to need, if you want to max stage, you need someone to negate a lot of this attack that he's giving in pierce. So good luck with that. Like I said, Exalted Champions is very free and easy, especially if you have some good support characters. But we're going to run Velzard, Divine General Diablo, because, again, he's God. Isis is here, she's very strong. We've got Space Raphael, because if you're wanting to max this stage, you have to take away the mushroom's ability to pierce, which Raphael can seal that for 2 turns. We're going to need it. And then Guy is here to ult rush. We're not going to use his synergy skill, because we have Diablo and his is better, but we need to ult rush, because we're not doing like a triple orb steal, which I guess you can. If you don't have Guy or something, and you're bringing Diablo, you can bring some other way to get orbs for Milim to get her EX ult very quickly. And then Milim obviously is the nuking character, so we don't need much from her. We don't need much from her except damage is what I meant. So here, turn 1, we have 30 points, we're going to green buff. We'll bring our 2 characters up front that we care about. And then we're going to use the Raphael seal skill, so the mushroom can't get its 100% pierce rate. And as long as you take 1 damage, you're going to get the max score. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, natural synergy there, fine. But 1 damage, because it can't pierce anymore. Cool. And now we've got access to the green, the green buff still from not Veldora, Diablo, but also the alt rush ability from Guy. So 20 points there, the alt rush was 40. We'll do Velzard. That will now give us the EX ult after 3 orbs, and it's fairly straightforward. Like, we're going to get 157 points total on the nuke turn, so you use the synergy buff, use the personal buff from Milim, and then you use the resistance down from Isis, sorry, and you're done. Like, it's easy. Like, my Milim is not 120. She has good gear, though, but, we have enough points to do everything, and she's going to do more than the damage cap. Well, more than the damage cap? Nah, debatable. Let's see what happens here. 5 million. She does the cap by herself. Okay, so there we go. If you do need to push another turn because you can't do 5 million on that turn, and you need 1 more stack of something, anything, or maybe another synergy resistance down from Guy, you certainly could do that. So, but mine is able to do it. We took 2 hits, 2 damage, 5 million is the cap, and then we got turn 3 bonus. So very, very simple and easy. You can obviously swap out Isis or swap out someone else for other support characters. Maybe that'll make you push to turn 4, but as long as you can do the 5 million, that's most of your score right there. Alright, in the event you don't have the Exalted Champions team, maybe you have the Frieren team, and you can just slap Milim on there, and she'll do fine. Himmel, stacking. We've got Bride Shuna now for the Orb Steal. We don't really care about Raphael here that much. We don't need that many turns, we don't need that much protection gauge on the oranges. Fern, Violet, Frieren, gonna be able to buff Milim up. Milim is already getting 100% ult damage, so Frieren's buff isn't doing everything for her, because Frieren's doing 120 ult, and then the synergy rate, which we're gonna need. So we're only getting 20% extra ult damage, but we're getting access to synergy, which is gonna help us enhance the buff from Fern herself. But we still don't have anyone to deal with turn 1. So what we're simply gonna do is we're gonna take Frieren, slop her in for Shuna, and then we're going to pray that we get 3 orbs for somebody, anybody, next turn. And we do. We get 3 orbs for Frieren, so that works out, plus a cheeky counter. We do, because of traits, have access to Himmel, which is great. Even if you don't have access to Himmel, you can still steal 3 orbs, and maybe you don't get the EX ult for Milim this turn, because you're not going to send 6 oranges, but you can get close. And then as long as you can build up points, you're fine. This is not going to be a turn 3 team, it's going to be a turn 4 team. But we can at least get her ready right now. And if you need to push an extra turn, then push an extra turn. So boom, alright, we're taking damage, so it's not a max score run. It's fine, whatever. We don't have any defensive abilities on this team. But let's go ahead and do the synergy buff with Fern now. And then technically, we could have also done the magic buff. Like, we would have had the points for it, but I didn't do it, so does that put us back a little bit? Kinda. I wasn't sure how many points we would make back on those 5 orbs, but we do make it back to the cap just from sending the 1. But here, now we're ready to go. So we've got 250, so 1, 2, we're missing the magic buff. Oh, we're not ready. Okay, so turn 5 team now. And this is just the extra 50 points does matter, because we were short on getting that extra buff, which means that we also wouldn't... we could have used Milim's buff herself. We would have missed something else, though. Now we're good. Turn 5. So, the Fern buff, ult resistance down, EX ult damage up, Milim comes in, we can use the magic buff, the Violet buff. We can also... yeah, we're just... no, there's no also, it's just the buffs. Another stack of Himmel, and then we'll go ahead and nuke. And Milim does... how much damage? I don't remember last night. 5.2 million. Sure. So we definitely needed to go to turn 5 in order to do damage cap. We wouldn't have hit that on turn 4. But, and well, if we had enough points to nuke on turn 4, because if we had used the magic buff early, maybe would have made it back. I don't know. Try it for yourself. I don't want to do this again. But if you want to, you can come back and try it, and you could attempt to nuke on turn 4. If you have enough points, then great. You can let me know in the comments. So, if you already know that you're not going to be able to do it in 3 turns, then I just wouldn't worry about it. Stacking Fount of Wisdom team, you get the extra damage against water. EX Hinata, especially if she's unbound and skill fused, does quite a bit of damage now. And we'll just put her with a whole bunch of other support characters. We're actually going to bring a turn 1 orb changer in Eren this time, just to get us started. And then we'll just go until turn 5 or 6 or whatever, until you feel like you can confidently nuke. This team, by the way, is going to be a turn 6 team, so we're losing a lot of points on the turn bonus, but doesn't really matter. I actually don't think we hit damage cap, though, with this. I think we're shy of it, which is kind of surprising. I thought Hinata would do better than that, but it is what it is. So we used Eren to convert the first turn, the 2 oranges to 2 greens, and then she's no longer useful. So here we can convert. My Rimuru is skill fused, so he can change any two orbs to blue. But even if he wasn't skill fused, this hand particularly would not have impacted him, because it still would have been a convert with Hinata for the 1 green and orange, and then the 2 oranges Rimuru would have taken care of. We do have to make sure not to kill the mushroom too quickly, though. So we took all of the weapons off everybody, except for Hinata and her support, just in order to keep the mushroom alive, because everyone else besides Eren is still doing extra damage against water, because they're all Fount of Wisdom characters. So they're going to do more and more and more. And we have to try and get an EX ult for Hinata in that time frame. So we don't have a good way to ult rush. If you want to use a different charm, like an ult rush charm or a blue ult gauge charm, that can certainly work. If you don't want to bring Aaron and you want to bring like a rainbow converter or something, you can certainly do that too, and just try and get as many orbs for Hinata as possible for the rainbows. That's certainly an option. We're not really going to do that here though. We do have an ult swapping character though. Cool. And then we can just orb change there. There's 3 orbs for her. Cool. We'll bring Aaron back in for Rimuru, so she does the least amount of damage on the entire team, because she is not Fount of Wisdom. She is free to play, and she has no weapon. So, yeah, 2400 damage looks a lot better for keeping this thing alive. We still need a little bit more ult gauge for Hinata, which we can get here, because we have 4 orbs for her now. So the stack, another stack, 30% ult resistance down every single time we do that, right? 30? 15. 15% ult resistance down. We're raising our skill cap by 30. That's what we're doing. But orb change, it is what it is. We can take Aaron out. I mean, she didn't have any orbs anyways. So orb change, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank God we took the weapons off, otherwise this thing would have died long ago. And now turn 6, we are ready to nuke, because we do have the EX ult. And we have, I think, enough points to do stuff? Question mark? 1, 2, 3. We do. Alright. So, is this going to be the most powerful thing in the world? No. We didn't technically use Albus for her orb change at all. So, Albus's buff is really not strong at this point in the game. If you want to swap her out for, like, Divine General Diablo, that would do a lot more damage for you, because it would also activate the synergy resistance down that Blanc is putting on. But we do the damage cap. Barely. Barely. So if your Hinata is not EX Unbound and skill fused, she's not going to hit that 4.9 million. She's going to hit a lot lower than that. So in that case, probably swap Albus out for some other strong support character instead. Okay. And because, you know, some people still have it, I'm going to put it in here. Wind is also not in a super great spot. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you have access to the new Veldora and Lumi, they can definitely get this stage done, but I'm assuming no one is really summoned for that, so I didn't make a team for it, but just know it probably can. But we're going to use the Overlord collab, Rimuru, Nabe, Shizu, since she's a single target wind nuking character, Diablo, the old Masked Hero, and then Divine General Blanc. And technically, it works. Technically. Okay, so turn 1, we can convert. So we'll use the Diablo green buff because it's free. We'll bring Shizu in for Diablo. We can use Nabe's convert now for the Stern of Spirit orbs only, which I think there's only 3 characters on here that are Stern of Spirit. I don't know if Blanc is on that or not. Let me check. I actually kind of forget if she's on Stern of Spirit or not. She is not. So there we go. And neither is Diablo. Yeah, no. Is the hero on Stern of Spirit? No, she only has 2. Heart of a Hero, which does not have a team yet. But, I mean, this is a green stacking team. You just have to get an EX ult for Shizu, which means you need a few orbs for her. Even with the green buff from Diablo and being reset, you're still going to need a little bit of help here. So it's just going to be another long-form team, and you're going to do as much damage as possible. You're going to get as many stacks as possible. We have the synergy buff. We have Shizu's own weakness strike and ult resistance down. We have the 150% ult damage from Blanc, and we have the hero's crit. It's like, they're good buffs, but the hero specifically, like, she's quite old now. Her crit buff is not what it needs to be in this day and age of 2025, considering she came out in 2022. So it's not really her fault. And, you know, her skill fusion did make her technically better, but it's not a 2025 character's buff, or even a 2024 character's kind of level of buff. So you are missing out on a little bit. If you have the new Divine General Hero, probably a lot better option for you, but that's only if you have her. I specifically use the old Masked Hero a lot because I want to show people that the rewind is still important, and she is a character that has that still. So orb change, Really came in useful that we have Diablo's multi-use skill, because we needed to do the blue orb change twice right there, because a couple of those orbs were the heroes, and they were not going to get converted by Nabe. So, or at least with the special convert from Nabe, it wasn't going to work. So, I mean, we're looking good so far. It's just that we don't want to kill now, because we do want to make sure that we have enough points to buff. So I was doing some quick math right there. We're going to need to go a little bit further. But I guess we can start the outro. Wind, again, not in a super great place, but it can get the job done if necessary. I really hope that we get a wind I hope we get a water meta sometime very soon, because we're in the middle of a wind meta as of recording this, right? But it's a very skippable meta. So maybe water for like the half anniversary. Give them a really, really, really strong team that's not stupid gimmicky like Protector of Peace, and make it worth summoning for. Water deserves it. So here, we're on turn 5, and looks like we are going to nuke. So bring in all our buff characters. We use the synergy buff from Diablo already. So alt resistance, weakness strike, alt damage, crit. Shizu does 2.9 million. It's really sad numbers, but if it's what you got, it's what you got. So we did 3 million. We're 2 million shy on the score. You got to do what you got to do. So again, if you have other teams that you have found that works for this stage, please, for the love of God, put it down below, because I don't want to go back and do this again. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.